Well, we have more breaking news coming in. Now, Republic's newsbreak has been confirmed. The Enforcement Directorate is now seeking a 7-day custody extension of Arvind Kejriwal. ASG SV Raju says that they have issued summons to the excise officials in Punjab as well. Now, the probe has widened its ambit from Delhi to Punjab as well. Now, the Enforcement Directorate is currently seeking the extension of the Delhi Chief Minister's custody, even as the constitutional crisis continues to ensue in the national capital, because the national capital has a chief minister who is in the ED custody right now, and he is presented before the court, and the Enforcement Directorate has sought an additional extension of the custody of Arvind Kejriwal by 7 days, and this is to confront him with other entities. Shawan, what are the latest updates from the courtroom?
Well, in fact, let me just help our viewers understand a big twist that has actually taken place. All this while, we were essentially talking about Goa. In fact, Republic's newsbreak has now been confirmed. Earlier in the day, we did actually break that Enforcement Directorate is going to seek further custody, and we'd also put out details of the fact that they're recording the statement of Aam Aadmi Party leaders in Goa. Now, the Punjab angle has come out, and let's just put this out because this is an important development that has taken place. It did actually find a mention when the Central Bureau of Investigation was looking into the matter when the arrest of the then Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia actually took place, because it turns out that the policy was actually also utilized, or a same policy was also put into place in Punjab, and there were discussions that once the implementation is done here in the national capital, a similar excise policy will also be implemented in the state of Punjab. The excise commissioner was actually called here in the national capital. There were meetings that took place with the Aam Aadmi leaders, and in fact, let me also tell you that there is another Aam Aadmi Party leader whose name had actually surfaced during the investigation. So far, since the person concerned has not been called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate, we are refraining from taking the name of the Aam Aadmi Party leader, but a senior leader was also under the scanner of the Enforcement Directorate with a Punjab link that had come in. Now, SV Raju has declared before the court that they are also looking into the angle that has emerged with regards to Punjab. The excise officers have been called in for questioning, but there are two aspects that are becoming very clear. One, with regards to obstructing the investigation. The Enforcement Directorate maintains that despite multiple questions being asked about giving access to the digital device, it turns out that the Delhi Chief Minister says that he's not going to do so unless he's been instructed by the lawyers, which essentially means that the mobile phones that have been seized so far, some mobile phones we are given to understand that the Enforcement Directorate hasn't really got their hands on as yet, but they're hoping that over a period of time they would be able to get access to more of the digital devices that were largely utilized by the Chief Minister, which is also password protected. That is the reason why SV Raju is essentially saying that is pending work. Apart from that, the fact that Aam Aadmi Party leaders, their statements are being recorded in Goa as we speak right now, and once the statement is actually recorded, remember, confronting Arvind Kejriwal with that becomes extremely crucial, because that's the aspect of money laundering. That's the place where the money was actually utilized. That is the reason why it becomes extremely crucial with these pending work or the pending investigation in this, for which custody is actually required. That's the latest that's coming in, Deepak. As I understand, in the court, Arvind Kejriwal had already indicated that this is yet another political conspiracy because of which he's behind bars, responding to some reports essentially coming in that the Lieutenant Governor has indicated that the government cannot actually run from inside the jail, and in fact it was sort of an assurance that was actually given. Right now, there have been no developments that have taken place. In fact, the court today has made it abundantly clear that there is no question of any judicial intervention when it comes to whether at all the Chief Minister can actually run the government from inside the jail. There's no legal precedence to it. Hence, there is some sort of a relief
like Arvind Kejriwal's wife had mentioned
from the Delhi High Court,
that the Delhi Chief Minister would make some revelations before the court. The Delhi Chief Minister has now requested before the court that he will make some personal statements as well. He would want to personally address the court, and the arguments have ensued. Shaban, if you could take our viewers through the latest update that's coming in, because Arvind Kejriwal has already started addressing and he started making his statements. He has said that he has first said that the interrogation has occurred in cordial atmosphere, and he also says that I want to thank ED officers. This case has been going on for 2 years. So, Shaban, what is the latest coming in from the courtroom?
Well, this is a move that has been made by Arvind Kejriwal, hoping that he actually addresses through the court to a larger audience at this point in time. Now, this is a position that Arvind Kejriwal has taken from the day this case actually began. And when the first charge sheet was actually filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, it's a bit of a bizarre logic here, simply because at that point in time, the Chief Minister had said that, listen, I am not guilty because I have not been named in the charge sheet. That is the reason why I'm not guilty. But that's not how investigation really works, Deepak, because remember, the charge sheet is for those who have already been taken into custody. And there is always an indication of what one could expect in the days to come. So there is no question that you would have Arvind Kejriwal being mentioned in the charge sheets that have been filed by the Central Bureau of Investigation, because at that point in time, he was never taken into custody. Secondly, his statements were not recorded till the time this charge sheet was actually filed. So the role of Arvind Kejriwal came at a much later stage. It was only after his name surfaced during the statements that were recorded by both the agencies, that's when both the agencies started calling Arvind Kejriwal. And the fact of the matter is this, that you would have the same argument put forth. But it's an interesting development that's taking place, because let me just quickly take our viewers through what is it that Arvind Kejriwal is essentially referring to, right? Let's first begin with the first statement that he's made. He basically made an intervention saying that he wants to address the court personally, which it appears from our reporters' insight that he was granted permission from the court to address, where he started by saying that he wants to thank the enforcement directorate officers because this is an investigation that has been going on for 2 years. A sarcastic statement made by the Chief Minister to begin with. Then he says that he was arrested. No court has proved him guilty as yet. The CBI has essentially filed about 31,000 pages and the enforcement directorate has filed 25,000 pages. And even if you read them together, why have I been arrested is the question that he has been asking. This is exactly what Abhishek Manu Singhvi did actually tell the court last time when the hearing took place. What is the need of the arrest? And the fulcrum of this entire investigation was basically revolving around the need of his arrest. The court says, why don't you give this all in writing? To which once again he insisted that he wants to speak. No court has proven him guilty. He refers to the fact that there is a statement of C. Arvind. C. Arvind actually happens to be the secretary of the then Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, and he's a crucial character as far as this investigation goes. His statement is recorded by both the agencies. I'll try and explain that in a short while from now. But he says, and he's now saying this, that there are several leaders who were called in for questioning. Every time these raids were basically carried out, there are certain instructions that are basically given by the enforcement directorate. And C. Arvind, he makes that allegation that C. Arvind was basically forced to take the name of the Chief Minister, or else he would have been arrested. So that is the reason why he's saying there has been some amount of coercion that has actually taken place. And he also turns to the fact that the people who are being turned approver in the case and people are being forced to change their statements. Can arrest be made based on certain statements, to which the enforcement directorate has already objected? People have been forced to change statements is an assertion that has been made by Arvind Kejriwal. Once again, he says that they have been turned approver because there was some amount of pressure that was put on them, saying that they would be arrested if at all they are not given the permission. The court says that he is not going to allow more than 5 minutes for Arvind Kejriwal to address.